For more information, Cape Regional Health System for a healthier life.
Sports is what we do.
You're in your car, you're in your house, you're wherever you are. You're a sports fan.
97.3 ESPN.
Because if you weren't a sports fan, you wouldn't be listening.
WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a town square media station serving all of South Jersey. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app. Now, live from the Matt Black Kia Studios.
Oh, what a move!
Here's Josh Hennig.
You know, leading up to this week, we would joke, those of us who work in the sports media business, about how, oh man, look at the NBA. They're putting the trade deadline the same week of the Super Bowl. And we all made the assumption that it was, as I said, we would treat it like a joke, like the NBA would just do a couple trades and that'd be it. Well, it is official. The NBA has stolen all the thunder from the NFL this week. For at least a 36-hour period, the NBA is leading every sports radio and television show, and for good reason. And because of that, we're going to get into what it all means for the 76ers this hour. Keith Pompey, he's the Sixers beat writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer. He will join us in less than 20 minutes from now to talk about the Sixers, who really only made one deal. Now, they could still be active participants in the buyout market, but trade-wise, they only really made one move. And you guys can let me know what your reactions are to the different moves that have happened over the last 36 hours. Text board is open. 609-403-0973 is the text board. You also can DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. It is a very complicated situation that has happened for Philadelphia. Because coming into the trade deadline, the 76ers have been pretty much out of sight, out of mind because of the Eagles' playoff run. And the Sixers have had the luxury, because of the Phillies' run to the World Series, and now the Eagles' run to the Super Bowl, that the majority of their season has been overshadowed by the other teams in the city. And on the day where the NBA trade deadline saw numerous teams make numerous deals, I mean, the LA Lakers just revamped their entire roster, for goodness sake. It was absolutely, I have to give the Lakers a ton of credit. I have to give the Mavs a lot of credit. I give the Suns credit. I give the Bucks credit. I even give the Hawks credit for collecting what seems to be a gazillion draft picks at this point. Even the Clippers made some interesting moves. And the Sixers did not. And I won't say his name because he's a buddy of mine and I don't want to put him, his name out there too much. But literally, this is what I got from a friend of mine an hour and change ago. And I'm going to tell you why my buddy is not crazy when he sends this. Because when I first saw it, I kind of just put the phone aside and said, look, I got work to do. I can't reply to this. But then I went and read it again during this past commercial break. And I thought, you know what? We can't gloss past this. Now, he doesn't text me, hey, how you doing? What's up, man? Nothing. Just 5:01 p.m. What idiot in the front office thought that today's trade was a great idea? I don't understand why the Sixers don't act like the organization isn't a bleeping joke, just like the entire city. Now, obviously, as you could tell, my buddy is pretty upset. But now that I've thought about it, I don't think that his perspective on the Sixers is without merit. And it's because of the fact that You look at the Lakers and the Suns and the Nets and the Bucks and all these teams that made significant trades and moves at the deadline. And the 76ers' big move was to unload Matisse Thybulle's contract and take on another player whose contract is much more favorable to them, who pretty much will have the same role. And Furkan Korkmaz literally asked to be traded. They didn't trade him. Matisse Thybulle never asked to be traded. He got traded. And instead, the 76ers' big move was Jalen McDaniels, a 6'9" wing player. So he's a little taller than Matisse Thybulle, but they didn't need that. The Sixers had a couple distinctive needs, and they didn't address any of them. And that's why my buddy is texting me personally on my cell phone saying he doesn't understand this stupid idiot bleeping organization. And I think this is the problem with the Sixers right now. You are in the same city as the Eagles and the Phillies. The Eagles and the Phillies didn't just have success this year, but both organizations have had extensive success in the last 20 years. Actually, more like 22 years. The Sixers haven't been out of the second round in so long that most people don't realize the last time it happened was Allen Iverson was in a Sixers uniform. This team can't get to the Eastern Conference Finals, but yet the Phillies have been the not one, not two, but 3 World Series in the last 22 years. The Eagles have been to not 1, not 2, but 3 Super Bowls in the last 22 years. And the Sixers just seemingly can't get out of their own way. And whether you're a fan of Sam Hinkie in the process, whether you like Joel Embiid or you want him traded, no matter if you're a Harden fan or not, whether you're the guy who thinks the Sixers should trade Tyrese Maxey for Kevin Durant, whatever person you are, we all can agree that even though there are things that we can disagree about in terms of the minutia of the 76ers, the reality is that we all agree the 76ers are a major letdown compared to the other teams in the city of Philadelphia. And so when you have an NBA trade deadline that sees multiple teams overhauling their rosters and the 76ers make one trade, I mean, even the New York Knicks made a major move. You look at the NBA standings right now, and you realize that the 76ers are one of the 4 best teams in the Eastern Conference easily. Because the Nets are going to fall off the face of the earth after their trades. The Miami Heat, they didn't make any significant moves, so I don't know how much better they're going to be moving forward, unless they get somebody in the buyout market, which I don't know if that's going to happen or not. The New York Knicks might be the biggest winner in the Eastern Conference because they just picked up Josh Hart. And Josh Hart is having a very good year. And you pair him with his old Villanova teammate, Jalen Brunson. That could be a trade that pays big time for the Knicks. You know, Josh Hart was a guy who Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson were always kind of looked at the 2 guys who most people thought could have the biggest careers in the NBA. And Hart now has been traded twice. He was traded from New Orleans to Portland, and now he's been traded from Portland to New York. He's arguably one of the best all-around forwards in the league. He can play defense. He averages over 8 rebounds a game, which is ridiculous for a guy his size and his height in such an athletic league. He's a well-rounded, really good player who I think is going to make the Knicks better. And you know what? In an Eastern Conference, we know the Sixers are making the playoffs, but they're not doing enough to try to incentivize the fan base to do anything except for text people like me, Josh Hennig, here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Text people like me complaining about how much of a joke they are. You know, the Flyers have been to a Stanley Cup, Stanley Cup final more recently than the 76ers have been to the NBA Finals. The 76ers are turning out to be a poor excuse for a basketball organization. And I hate saying that because the 76ers should be a contender getting to the conference finals. In an Eastern Conference that is basically become a power vacuum, the power vacuum was never filled by Joel Embiid. It was filled by Giannis and Tatum and other talented players in the Eastern Conference. When LeBron left and went to the Lakers, the Sixers had a chance to beat Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors. They lost that game 7. And instead of trying to make the team better, they just reshuffled the deck chairs on the Titanic. And the Jimmy Butler letting him walk and picking Ben Simmons over Butler will always haunt this franchise. And even though they finally found a way to get rid of Ben Simmons, unless they get to the Eastern Conference Finals this year, it was all for naught. And you're going to be at a point where Joel Embiid, who we always worry he's going to get hurt, right? We're always worried Joel Embiid is going to sustain another injury because he's broken his face twice and he's had foot surgeries and back injuries and knee injuries. You're worried that at age 28, how many more years does Joel Embiid, who actually turns 29 in next month? I didn't realize until I looked it up. He turns 29 next month. How many more great years are you getting out of this guy? The dude is literally leading the NBA in scoring for most of the year. He led the NBA in scoring last season. You could argue that he's having a better offensive year than he even did last year. And yet all the Sixers can do is trade away Matisse Thybulle and bring in a guy who's basically a similar version of him. It's a letdown. And like I said, I give a lot of credit to the Lakers. The Lakers did an amazing job of overhauling their roster. They got rid of 2 different contracts that most people didn't think they could get rid of, and they found a way to replenish their roster. I thought the Bucks had a very sneaky move in getting Jay Crowder. That was a very smooth move by them. The Suns are obviously pushing all chips to the middle of the table by acquiring Durant. Don't undervalue the TJ Warren addition in that trade. I think Warren could be a huge piece when it comes to the Suns' depth off the bench this year. I think Markieff Morris could have value for the Mavs coming off their bench in the Kyrie Irving trade. So we'll get into all of that and more coming up next with Sixers beat writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer, Keith Pompey, joins me next. Then we'll get your text messages a little bit later in the hour. 609-403-0973 is a text board. You also can DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle.
Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles square off in Super Bowl 57. Hi, this is Scott Graham. Join me and the rest of our Westwood One crew from Arizona for all the action. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are hoping to win a second title in 4 seasons for Kansas City. But the Philly faithful are hoping this one can be as special as their last Super Bowl 5 years ago. If it's Super Bowl 57, it's right here.
This is where you can listen to Super Bowl 57, 97.3 ESPN.
Your luxury BMW experience is closer than you think. Take advantage of exceptional savings at BMW of Atlantic City. Stop in and shop your favorite models, including the new BMW 2 Series, X3, and more. We're sure to have a vehicle that fits your needs. And with Acceleride, purchase your vehicle online and we'll deliver it directly to you. Looking to trade? We'll pay top dollar for your current vehicle. Experience luxury today today at BMW of Atlantic City, closer than you think, in Egg Harbor Township. Shop our complete inventory online at bmwatlanticcity.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Nillis, cardiologist at Cape Regional Health System. Did you know that heart disease takes on many forms, including coronary artery disease or CAD? If you have CAD or think you may be at risk, advancing age, poor diet, and lack of exercise can cause it to worsen over time, but we can help.
To find out more or to schedule an appointment, call us at 609-463-CAPE. Do it for yourself, for those you care about, and for those who care about you. Cape Regional Health System, for a healthier life.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The heartbeat of the fan base. It runs deep. STM Sports and Collectibles has the pulse of the sports fans and the experience to get their attention. Digital marketing, branding, video production, and more. Visit stmsportsandcollectibles.com to start growing your business today. Follow them on social media for great sports content, memorabilia, player appearances, and more. STM Sports and Collectibles. A love for marketing, a passion for sports.
Hi, honey. Happy first day back at work. Can't wait to see you tonight. We are so proud of you.
Daddy, love you.
There are many reasons to start recovery. If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, we are here to help. Call us. Our trained counselors are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help. Your recovery is within reach. Call 844-REACH-NJ to learn about medication that can support your recovery. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
It looks like your luggage is over 50 pounds. Is there anything you can take out?
Oh, yeah. Let me just toss all these $20 bills.
Great. Let me grab you a trash can.
Stop. Instead of throwing money away, move some clothes into a carry-on. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
Hi, New Jersey. This is Larry Steitler, founder of East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows, your local exterior contractor for over 40 years. Home improvements can't always wait till the weather gets warmer. But don't worry about our team. We have Long Johns and we'll wear them. Trust us with your family and home this winter. Schedule your consultation today by calling 609-262-2004 or visit us at eastcoastroofing.com. And remember, if you'll call, we'll show up.
Trust us with your family and home.
Go to get your game on at the Gallery Bar Booking Games in Ocean Casino Resort this football season. Cheers your favorite drinks while cheering on your favorite team. Get in on the parlay while in the middle of a party. Go for the sports scene and go for the endless screens. Go to the Gallery. Go to Ocean. Go for the win. For more information, visit theoceanac.com. Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
Hey, big guy. Simple credibility approval.
Listen, big guy, try this. Give them more cash for their clunker.
That was my idea.
Why pay more when you can pay 0% with 0 down? So bring any trade to Matt Blatt Kia and drive home in a brand new Kia. Because if you have a job clearing $350 per week, Matt Blatt Kia wants to approve you. Even with 0 down and 0% APR financing for 36 months. Don't see your new Kia on the lot today? That doesn't mean you can't drive it home tomorrow with peace of mind. Matt Blatt Kia's exclusive 4-day love it or leave it return policy.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
Rate qualifications exist with approved credit. $27.78 per thousand financed on in-stock 2023 Sorrento Hybrid. Not all will qualify. Go to mattblattkia.com. KiaNJ.com for complete details or 888-505-6670. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer except for licensing, registration, and taxes. Expires 3/3/23. Met Black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, and now on Route 37 in Toms River.
Hi, Merrill Reese from Mike's Seafood Run Walk for Autism in Sea Isle City. The Mike's Seafood Run Walk for Autism has been promoting awareness and raising funds for special service schools and families of special needs children. Come join over 5,000 participants in the 5K race and the Family Fun Walk, followed by a huge after party. Join us in huge heated tents where they'll have great food, unbelievable door prizes, and the award ceremony. The party is not just for runners and walkers, it's for the entire family. They'll have clowns, superheroes, and face painters for the kids. For more information or to register, go to polarbearrunwalkforautism.com.
Mike's Seafood Run Walk for Autism is Saturday, February 18th at JFK and the Boardwalk in Sea Isle City. Registration is from 9:30 to 11:30. Run Walk starts at noon.
Any day you can do something for children with disabilities, it's a good day.
You're listening to Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Of course, Game Night being brought to you by friends over at Jenkins & Sons. One call does it all. No need to call the drain guy, the heater guy, or the plumbing guy because Jenkins technicians have got you covered. From new heating and air installation, service and maintenance, ductless air conditioning systems, water heaters, boilers, gas furnaces, leak repairs, and more, call Jenkins at 609-641-6262 or visit them online at jenkinsandsons.com. Well, the good news is the Sixers are still one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference left standing, but it feels like the entire world around them has been shook. And they're joining us now to talk more about it. He covers the Philadelphia 76ers for the Philadelphia Inquirer. He is Keith Pompey. He joins us right now. Pompey on Sixers on Twitter. Keith, welcome in. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm just trying to decipher what's going on with the Sixers, because obviously the Sixers, they couldn't make a lot of moves, and they didn't really need a ton of additions. But I think for a lot of people are trying to understand why Thibault was traded and what they got in return. Like, how does this help or not help them?
Well, there was two things we got to be real with. Like, one thing is, Thibault is probably the best asset of a guy that they wanted to trade. Now, I know we look at his defense and all that other stuff, and you think you'd be better off keeping him, right? I thought they should. But at the same time, they also wanted to get below the salary cap, or the luxury cap, not salary cap, the luxury cap. So what this trade did, it enabled them to get a guy who is a 3-and-D player. He's not as good as a defender as Thibault, but he's a better offensive player than Thibault, and his salary is so much cheaper than him. So what that's going to enable them to do is going to enable them to go in the buyout market, and you have to assume that they already have somebody picked out, and they're going to go into the buyout market, and they're going to sign a backup center to a minimum. So, or another positional player, but I believe it'll probably most likely be a backup center. And then what they'll do from there is, that's what they'll have, and they don't have to pay luxury tax.
So now you mentioned the buyout market. I know the couple names that were thrown around before the deadline were guys like Nerlens Noel and Andre Drummond. Are some reunions potential buyout candidates in your mind, or do you think those are two guys that are people maybe aiming a little too high?
No, I mean, I think like a guy like Nerlens Noel could be in the buyout market. I do. I also, another reunion. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they go out and get him or not. But a guy who a guy who they'll probably pursue would be Dwayne Dedmon. You remember him? He played for the Sixers. He was on like a 10-day contract. I believe he had 2 10 days. He is a guy who's going to be. The Spurs just announced today that they're going to buy him out. So, I mean, it's going to be a lot of options. And I don't even know about Drummond if that's going to happen. But I believe from the sources I talked to, they told me that they're definitely going to buy out Nerlens Noel.
So if they were to bring in Noel, how, or any of those guys, Deadman, anyone, how does a guy fit into a rotation where we've seen Harrell and Reed get significant minutes from different nights of the season this year, Keith?
Well, I mean, if you looked at it lately and you saw how teams are scoring at will against Harrell at the rim, I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem to take his minutes and give it to somebody else, or the same with Paul Reed. I mean, I think Paul Reed needs to play a little bit more. I know he's going through some growing pains and he'll make like mistakes here and there, but I also think that, and I do like what Montrezl Harrell brings to the table. I just think that in certain situations, you, as Brett Brown used to always say, you have horses for courses. And I think you need a horse that's going to be able to protect the rim for him and help out. And that's what like a Nerlens Noel or another traditional center would do. A towering 6'10", 6'11" center would do for him.
When Nerlens Noel originally left here, and even Devin, it was so long ago, they were both such young and in some ways still learning how to be in the league guys. And now you're looking at two guys who all these years later could legitimately be, major parts of a bench that realistically hasn't played great defense much this year, Keith.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the thing about Nerlens. I mean, let's keep it real. When we're talking about a backup center and that we're really talking about that backup center for the playoffs, like you really want to, at that point, you want most of your minutes to go towards Joel Embiid, but you need somebody who's going to come in, and when he does play those little bit of minutes, it's not going to be like how it has been the last two games when they went up against, Brooklyn, Boston, even down to Orlando, where it's just going to be that person is going on to a long run. So I think that, the guy is not going to play a lot of minutes, but at the same time, you just want somebody to be able to be in there and fortify things for you.
Talk with Keith Pompey, covers the 76ers for the Philadelphia Inquirer. Follow him on Twitter at Pompey on Sixers for all your 76ers news and coverage. Keith, one of the things we also deadline, it wasn't the Sixers making a trade. It was a team like the Nets basically imploding their roster, getting rid of both Kyrie and KD this week. So the Sixers are clearly one of the four best teams in the Eastern Conference. Where do you think they stand among the best in the East right now?
You know what? For a while, I thought like they had arrived, right? I mean, I really did. They lost 3 of their last 5 games, and I really didn't like what I saw. I mean, right now I have the Sixers still in number 3, but however, I look at a team like Cleveland. If Cleveland is on fire and if Cleveland is rolling, I think they can surpass the Sixers right now. I mean, I do, because the thing is, I just need to see more. I need to see more from the Sixers, second unit. I need to see a little bit more from Maxey. So, right now I have the Sixers at 3rd, but I can see them sliding down to number 4.
Keith, the audience is well aware of this complaint I have about the Sixers, and this is my personal issue. I feel like at times this team is not giving their best in games. And I know it's an 82 game season. I know it's long, Keith, but as well as anybody, you've watched the league for as long as you have. We don't need you to give 110% every night, but it'd just be nice to see when Joel Embiid gets the ball on a fast break that other guys would run with him down the floor and they're not lollygagging behind.
Yeah, that's the thing. They got to get that focus. And the thing is, the one thing is, if you notice, a lot of times we see a lot of that like happen after they get like a major lead, and then they get a lead, and then all of a sudden we start seeing them, struggling and making mistakes and doing things. It becomes less of a team game like let's score points or let's move the ball, and becomes more of like, let's go one-on-one, let me jack threes and stuff like that. And then guys they start lacking focus and making a lot of mistakes.
Because the thing also, Keith, is for me, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not trying to be dismissive of it, but I'm not as worried about who the coach is on the sideline. I'm concerned that you have Joel Embiid, who is one of the league leaders. He's probably going to end up winning the scoring title again. James Harden, who's going to the Basketball Hall of Fame one day. Tyrese Maxey, one of the best young ascending players in this league. You have three super talented players on your team. And it's like, how, as you said, you get a lead and you just forget about it. Don't the players themselves have to take some accountability here?
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, they have to be a little bit accountable. They do. I mean, they do. And it's like, like Tobias Harris talked about it. I want to say it was after the New York Knicks game. And what he said is it was one of those things where they have to be mature. They have to be mature. And like when you say that, you're saying, okay, you got Tobias, you're like in your 30, James Harden is 33, Tucker's 37, Joel's 28. But what he means is it's like, you got to be basketball mature. Like, you got to stop, like, you got to focus. You got to be more accountable. You got to hold yourself accountable. And if you notice, like, I hate to say it and be repetitive, but it's more like whenever they get leads, it's kind of like guys start going for self. It's like, and it's even the starters. It's not just the backup. It's the starters. It's like guys will let me hurry up and try to score points. Let me do whatever I can. Let me try to pass stats. And that's the problem.
In a city where the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl and the Phillies were in the World Series, how much pressure or attention do you think there is to the Sixers organization in their inability to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals in a 20-year period where the Eagles and the Phillies have both gotten to their respective leagues championship games multiple times?
It's huge pressure. I mean, they got to get, in my opinion, like, you look at it and some people will say, the goal for the 76ers is we got to get out of the second round. Well, now, like you look at the Phillies, you look at the Eagles, you look at the Union. I mean, now is not even all three of those teams made it to their championships in their respective leagues. So now it's like we got the Sixers where they struggled to get out of the second round. So it's one of those things where they gotta, they got to make noise, and it's not just people aren't going to be happy to say, okay, y'all made it to the conference finals now. People are going to say, we want to see y'all make it to the championship.
I mean, even the Flyers have been to a Stanley Cup more recently than the Sixers got to an NBA, not even an NBA finals, an Eastern Conference finals. I mean, it's just it's perplexing, Keith, because this is a organization with so much history and so many amazing players have played for this organization. And Joel Embiid is one of those once-in-a-lifetime freakazoids. And it's just like second round, all right, thanks for playing.
Yeah, but he can't do it by himself either, though. True. Like, let's keep it 100. Like, Joe, I think what we do is we get caught up in what we see in front of us. And there are also a lot of bad basketball teams. But, like, but when you look at, he's not in the East anymore, but you look at Kevin Durant and you say to yourself, oh, we got a 7-foot small forward, right? You look at Giannis, we got a 7-foot power forward. So there's a lot of freakazoids, but the problem is, it's like, it's a team basketball, and you need everyone to work out. And as much as we get caught up and we see stuff, you look at a team like the Milwaukee Bucks, Drew Holiday, you got a lot of other guys on that team that fit in well. So I think that, yeah, you're right. We look at Joel and we look at the stats that he does and everything he has, but it is also one of those things where, you need some more help. You need other people to step up in order for you to win a championship and win a title.
Yeah, I think that Jay Crowder move is a sneaky good move for the Bucks too. I mean, you're talking about a team that, just finds ways to find good pieces that fit. Keith, before I let you go, I got to ask you, who wins the Super Bowl?
You know what? It's weird. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest with you, or I have, but I haven't come to a conclusion yet. It's funny because when you look at the Eagles, right? It's kind of like you see them and you see them all the time, and you're like, oh, they're good, but they're going to go up against a juggernaut. You keep saying that to yourself, and then you look at how that pass rush keeps killing these people. I think that the Eagles, now that not say put a gun to my head. But right about now, I guess I have to go with the Eagles and think that the Eagles are going to win. I think that pass rush that they have is unreal. I think that, they have three great receivers. And then also you look at you look at the quarterback, Pat Mahomes, and he's playing with that high ankle sprain. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but, you still think that his mobility is going to be impacted a little bit. And that pass rush that the Sixers that the Eagles have coming off that edge is really quick.
Well, you're not going to get analysis from every basketball writer, but you got it there from Keith Pompey at Pompey on Sixers. Follow him for all your Sixers coverage, and maybe he'll give you some more Super Bowl breakdowns. I mean, that's better than some of the guests I've had this week. Keith, I appreciate you jumping on. Great stuff, and I always enjoy reading you over in the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Thanks, my man. Thanks for having me.
And our conversation with Keith Pompey brought to you by friends over at Jenkins. One call does it all. 609-641-6262. No need to call the heating guy. No, you just call Jenkins. Jenkins has got you covered. Heating, air conditioning, service and maintenance, gas furnace, water heaters, whatever you need, Jenkins has got you covered. 609-641-6262 and online at jenkinsandsons.com. Text board is open. We'll get to your text next. 609-403-0973 here on Game Night with me, Josh Hennig, on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Philadelphia Flyers hockey tonight on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app with Tim Saunders and Steve Coates calling all the play-by-play action.
He's in the right circle. He scores! On the power play.
It's Flyers Oilers tonight. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. It's Philadelphia Flyers hockey on the radio home of the Flyers in South Jersey. 97.3 ESPN.
Hey, Birds fans, it's about that time. Football season is back, and Boardwalk Honda is giving you the chance to score big. Stop in and take advantage of game-changing savings all month long. Shop our lineup of new pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas. We have something for everyone, and credit problems are no problem with over 25 financial lenders to get you approved and on the road to victory. Visit us in Egg Harbor Township or online at boardwalkhonda.com. And remember, from Maine to Miami, nobody beats a Boardwalk deal.
Science proves quality sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. So you're at your best for yourself and those you care about most. Life-changing sleep, only from Sleep Number. It's our ultimate Sleep Number event. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
The 2023 Hercules Tires MAC Basketball Championships are returning to Atlantic City's Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall, March 7th through 11th, featuring 22 men's and women's teams. The tournament is fun for the family, featuring a band jam, Spirit Squad showcase, and a mac and cheese fest, where you'll be able to taste a variety of mac and cheese from your favorite local restaurants. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action to see who'll cut down the nets and earn a spot in the big dance. Get your tickets at boardwalkhall.com.
Every piece of land has a story. Some write theirs behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor, like the Upshaws.
This is my tractor Penny. It's all about attention to detail.
But the Nelsons love cruising around their expansive Montana ranch in their John Deere Gator UV.
We've been here since 1868.
While the Caggianos drive a John Deere zero-turn mower to keep their Long Island brewery looking sharp.
Don't call me, don't bother me. I'm going out to mow for a couple hours.
Run with us and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
With patriotsoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Let's make sure your current payroll provider isn't overcharging you, shall we? First, go to your payroll provider's website to see what you're currently paying. Oh, what's that? You can't clearly see your pricing because your vendor is running a temporary sale or making you call for a free quote? That's unfortunate. If you go to patriotsoftware.com, you will instantly see our payroll pricing for companies with 1 to 100 employees. Well, there you go. At least now you know what you should be paying for payroll. Go to patriotsoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll processing free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
With patriotsoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Did you hear about Taco Bell's apology? Yeah, they apologized for going too far with their breakfast. Like the naked egg taco and chicken biscuit nachos? It was too much. All you need in the morning is tasty, simple food. Like the breakfast crunch wrap. Fluffy eggs, melty cheese, sausage, crispy hash browns, wrapped in a warm tortilla. Or, as some call it, a breakfast crunch thing. Grab one today, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only until 11 a.m. while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation, which vary.
Some people are easily moved.
Wasn't that just the saddest movie ever?
Whatever. Others, not so much.
Oh, look at the puppies!
Just dogs, but smaller, so what? But even those who aren't easily moved.
Look, your long-lost brother's been found!
Oh, hi, Mike. Can be moved by us. Yeah. We're that good.
Use Clark's Moving and Storage in Rio Grande for your next local or long-distance move. Visit Clark's Moving and Storage online at clarksmoving.net.
Progressive is America's #1 motorcycle insurer, so we understand motorcycles. No, really, we have a bike translator.
Okay, this is awkward, but this bike says he'd appreciate it if you removed his skull pattern saddlebags. He feels self-conscious about them around all the other bikes, and he says you're not fooling anyone. You mostly ride with your golfing buddies. Listen, I'm just the messenger here. Oh, no, I don't want to say that. I think you made yourself clear.
Quote with Progressive and see if you could save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I guess one time isn't going to kill me.
It's totally safe. We do this all the time.
There's no way these drugs are laced, right?
Trust me, you're going to be fine.
We just need to forget everything.
It'll be fun.
A lethal dose of fentanyl is just 4 grains of sand. It can hide in any drug. So no matter what you and your friends think, what you can't see will kill you. Don't die to get high. Fentanyl is fatal. Get the whole truth at CamdenCounty.com/fentanyl.
Listen up, South Jersey football fans. Are you interested in solar? Want a free roof? EMT Solar and Roofing has you covered. Visit ESPNsolar.com to see if your home qualifies for a free roof with solar installation. Don't wait, act now. Start saving thousands and virtually extinguish your electric bill. ESPNsolar.com is the place to go for your roofing or solar needs. No commitments, no hidden fees. Go to ESPNsolar.com to see if you qualify.
Dell Technologies President's Day business event starts now with deals to power America's doers and dreamers. Save on select performance business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL for President's Day deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Of course, you're having a big game party. How many times does our team make it? And the place to get everything that you need for your party is BF Mazzio. That's right, BF Mazzio does catering. I'll bet you didn't know that. Potato salad, coleslaw, mac salad, cheeses, spreads, all kinds of party items, and all in one place. BF Mazzio. BF Mazzio, 601 New Road in Northfield. Online at bfmazzio.com. Order now, online, in person, or over the phone. BF Mazzio, 601 New Road, Northfield. bfmazzio.com. Go Birds!
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
As promised, you'll get to your text messages now at 609-403-0973 and your DMs in the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. So don't forget, tonight, Flyers are back on the ice, take on the Edmonton Oilers. Sixers back on the court tomorrow night at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. They will look to get some revenge against the New York Knicks. You can hear both games right here on 97.3 ESPN FM. Over on the text board, person didn't leave their name, so let's call them anonymous. Anonymous says the NBA didn't steal anything from the NFL. It seems people only care about the Super Bowl if you're from Philadelphia or Kansas City. There's no real Super Bowl drama. Well, first of all, that sounds like the person who texted that in. I don't have your name, but you sound like either a disgruntled fan from another fan base or a person who just, is a miserable individual. That's a very glass half empty, very negative way to look at things. First of all, if the only people who care about who's in the Super Bowl are people who's of those fan bases, then why every channel I turn on, aside from the last 36 hours, every channel has been wall-to-wall Super Bowl coverage? I mean, even the MLB Network the other day had this segment where they were comparing players who are playing in Sunday's game to players who are in Major League Baseball. People care. Whether there's quote-unquote real drama or not, drama is fabricated. Listen, I work in media. You put up a good headline, you put up a way to manipulate a story, it creates drama. You don't need real drama to have a really good game or be interested in the Super Bowl. If you do, then you're not really a sports fan. You know what you are? You're somebody who likes soap operas and you prefer WWE and their scripted scenarios over what happens in the real world. You don't like the real world because the real world is not based on drama. The real world is based on overcoming adversity, the best of the best competing. The NBA did steal attention from the NFL the last day and change. And if you don't see that, then maybe you're just, I don't know. I always wonder where people get some of their perspectives from, because at the end of the day, most people are not independent thinkers, okay? Most people don't come up with original ideas. If I ran into 100 people, I bet you that 60% of them are regurgitating something that they heard somewhere else. So maybe that guy is listening to some Sirius XM radio show with some miserable guy on the radio, or woman. I don't know. I'm not going to be sexist. Another anonymous text coming in at 609-403-0970 says, dude, you just need to trust the process. Well, anonymous dude, I don't have to trust the process. Listen, I understand that there are a lot of people who took strong positions for and against what Sam Hinkie did with the 76ers. I'm very well aware of that. I've had to listen to it on and off for about 10 years now. But I don't have to trust or not trust the process. Because first of all, as far as I'm concerned, the process gets an incomplete grade. The process left when Sam Hinkie left, in my opinion. Number two, the 76ers have turned over this roster so many times that it's an ongoing joke for some people about who has and hasn't played in Philadelphia at this point in time. So I don't have to trust the process. The process is, as far as I'm concerned, dead. It was a film project that was never finished. And it's sitting in some person's back office collecting dust. And it will be unearthed one day for a 30 for 30 documentary. 609-403-0973 is text board. Shader and EHT, who actually put his name on his text, and I appreciate that, says, I didn't watch for a while, but since the process led to that one Kawhi Leonard shot, I was so hyped at that point. Then the Sixers ruined it. Josh, you are beyond correct with Butler gone and Simmons staying behind. They destroyed the process. I got reinvigorated with Harden being acquired and started watching again a lot this year. I have some faith they can win the East, but zero belief they can beat the Suns. You're on point tonight, sir. That's from Shaner and EHT. Well, first of all, Shaner, thank you for putting your name. Second of all, thank you for the compliment. Couple things. One, I think it's interesting that you pointed directly to the Suns because I think the Suns still have a depth question because when you trade away Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, you're trading away two guys who were major role players on that Suns team. So I'm not 100% convinced that the Suns have the depth, I'll call it, the depth in place to get through the entire NBA playoffs. Now, look, Kevin Durant, if he's healthy, he's one of the 5 or 10 best players in the NBA. Devin Booker is one of the best scorers in the league. Chris Paul is a future Hall of Famer at point guard. They still have players on the court that can win and that they can. I think the biggest part is, look, DeAndre Ayton is still there. There were a lot of reports out there that said that Ayton was going to be the centerpiece of a Kevin Durant trade. And them keeping Ayton may be the biggest key to them getting to the postseason because there's very few players who can compete with Ayton in terms of what he can do in the post, down on the block, around the basket. So, but Mike, should the Suns be the favorite in the West? Should they? I think the Mavs got it exceptionally better with the Kyrie Irving move. I think the Lakers did an incredible job of overhauling their roster. I mean, I feel like we're giving the Suns, we're doing to the Suns what we did to the Nets a couple of years ago. Like when the Nets got Harden, people were assuming that team was going to the NBA Finals, and they never did. I was the person out here who was saying, place the bet against the Nets to win the Eastern Conference, and they couldn't get that far. Of course, there are other reasons, injuries and stuff. But does that happen to the Suns? Do the Suns become the team that injuries bite them? Now, the Shaner's other point, Shaner and EHT chiming in. I think that your perspective is very interesting because what you're saying is that you, as a fan, you weren't watching, you got brought back in, then you felt like you got pushed aside again, and now you're brought back in again, and that you have some faith in them right now. And I think that's a big part of fandom. Teams got to stop assuming that people are going to watch. There is a massive amount of ego and self-importance and entitlement that comes with sports sometimes. And people think that, just because, I'm an NBA team, I'm an NBA franchise, you should watch me. I just don't like that attitude. I think that you have to give people a reason to watch and, come to the game and be engaged. And as Shaner and EHT says, when the Sixers give them a reason to be engaged, they'll watch. By the way, a last-second text coming in. Anonymous texter says, I'd be shocked if KD, CP3, and Booker all stay healthy for a playoff run. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, that's why I can't say the Suns are the favorite because you have not one, not two, but 3 guys who all have injury concerns. I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Night. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Hey, South Jersey, this is Billy Schwein. Tune into The Locker Room every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN. Each weekend in The Locker Room, you will get passionate sports talk from a fan's perspective, along with interviews with some of the biggest names in sports. That's every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon in The Locker Room with me, Billy Schwein, on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner.